Hey there, folks. Wrinklefinger here. Have you ever found yourself wondering if adopting a pet is really better than shopping for one? Well, you're in for a treat today because we're about to dive into the heartwarming world of pet adoption. By the end of this video, you'll discover how a simple choice can change not just an animal's life, but yours too. So, stick around because we're about to uncover why adoption isn't just an option. It's a life-changing decision for both animals and humans. When we talk about adopting versus shopping for a pet, what exactly do we mean? Adoption typically involves rescuing an animal from a shelter or rehoming situation. On the flip side, shopping usually means getting a pet from a store or breeder. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what about responsible breeders? And you're right, there are some good ones out there. Even some great ones. But here's the thing, the majority of pets in shelters are loving animals just waiting for a chance at a forever home. Did you know that a whopping 6.3 million pets enter U.S. shelters each year? That's a lot of wagging tails and purring kitties looking for love. First off, let's talk about health. Many rescue animals come to you already spayed or neutered, and they're often up to date on their vaccinations. That's a win-win, folks. You're getting a pet that's ready to be part of your family, and you're saving yourself some trips to the vet. Some folks say they want to go to a breeder because they're after those fancy traits. A certain color, a certain shape, all that. They think it's hard to find that in a shelter. But you know, inbreeding is kind of like trying to get the perfect look in a pet by mixing the same family over and over. Sure, you might get those fancy ears or that cute nose, but it also means the poor animal can end up with all sorts of health troubles, like bad joints, heart issues, or breathing problems. All that inbreeding stuff just makes them more likely to have problems down the road, and it ain't fair to the critter. So it's good to remember, what looks pretty on the outside might come with a bunch of health headaches for your furry friend. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, cost. Adopting is often way cheaper than buying from a breeder. I mean, who doesn't love saving some cash, right? But here's the real kicker, the impact you're making. When you adopt, you're not just bringing home a new family member. You're literally saving a life and opening up space in the shelter for another animal in need. There's only so much room at the inn, folks. But wait, there's more. Have you ever seen the look in an adopted animal's eyes? It's like they know they've been given a second chance. I'm not kidding. The emotional payoff is incredible. Just picture a once lonely pup now zooming around your backyard, or a formerly shy kitty curled up in your lap, purring like a little motor. That's the magic of adoption, my friends. Now, I know we're keeping things light here, but we do need to touch on the darker side of pet shopping. Ever heard of puppy mills? These are places where dogs are bred in overcrowded, often inhumane conditions. And here's the sad truth. A lot of pet store animals come from these mills, not from loving breeders like you might think. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad here, and if you bought your last pet from a store, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. But it's important to know what's going on behind the scenes. Imagine rows of cramped cages, animals that never get to feel grass under their paws or sunshine on their fur. It's heartbreaking stuff, and it's happening more often than you'd probably believe. The sad truth is that to some folks, these wonderfully special and unique lives, they're just a commodity to buy and sell. But let's shift gears, shall we? I want to share a little personal story with you. Meet Boyo, Gypsy, and Spider, my own terrific trio of rescue pets. Boyo, he was living under a storage container next to the train tracks, barely 8 weeks old, when his mama got hit by a car. He showed up at the back of the building where I worked, starving and alone. That night I brought him home. My wife got a washcloth and gently cleaned all the dirt from his coat, and we saw how skinny he was, how he almost didn't make it. He's been with us 10 years now, and he is absolutely the light of my life. It took him some time to learn that he could trust us, but you can't really blame him for that. Gypsy was adopted from a shelter where I live in Southern California, called OC Animal Care. She was so happy to get out of that cage. She fell in love with my wife immediately and follows her everywhere now. She has these beautiful Cleopatra-like eyes, doesn't she? Spider is short for spider monkey because when we adopted her, she used to climb everything in the house. And she was so fast, just a mostly black blur when she scaled the cat tree or anything else. Here's a video of her on the first night she was with us. Look how tiny she was. What would have become of her if we hadn't taken her in? Talk about a coin flip. The point is, these rescue animals can be just as loving, loyal, and full of personality as any store-bought pet. Sometimes they just need a chance to show it. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, I'm sold on adoption, but how do I actually do it? Well, my friends, I've got you covered. All right, let's break this down plain and simple. You've got no-kill shelters, which are places that promise not to euthanize healthy or treatable animals, no matter how long it takes to find them a home. Then you've got kill shelters, which do euthanize animals if they're not adopted after a certain time, or if they're sick or unsafe to adopt out. Now, here's the thing. No-kill shelters can be a real safe haven for animals. Critters get a second chance, even if it takes a long time. But the downside is that these shelters can fill up real fast, and that means they might have to turn away new animals if they don't have room or resources. So even though they're saving lives, they can't help every single animal that comes knocking. On the flip side, kill shelters can take in more animals because they're constantly making space. It sounds rough, but sometimes it's the only way they can handle the flood of strays and unwanted pets. So why do some shelters pick one over the other? It often comes down to money and space. No-kill shelters need a lot of both, plus volunteers, foster homes, and donations to keep going. Kill shelters, usually run by the city or county, don't always get the same support, so they do what they can with what they got. At the end of the day, both kinds of shelters are trying to do their best for animals, even if it looks different. The best thing we can do is support them however we can, adopt, foster, or pitch in to help out. Step 2. Take your time meeting different animals. Don't be afraid to ask questions about their personalities, backgrounds, and needs. Remember, you're looking for a lifelong companion, so it's okay to be picky. Step 3. Get your home ready. This means stocking up on toys, creating a safe space for your new pet, and most importantly, packing your patience. Some rescue animals might need a little extra time to adjust. Remember that before they got to you, they were homeless and in a shelter. And before that, well, who knows? The point is that when you get hurt, sometimes it leaves a scar. Step 4. Commit to providing lifelong care. This isn't just about the fun stuff. It's about vet visits, training, and being there through thick and thin. You can't just give up as soon as it gets a little hard. And hey, if you're not quite ready for a full-time pet, why not consider fostering? It's a great way to dip your toes into the world of animal care and make a real difference. Now, let's tackle some of those pesky myths about rescue animals. You've probably heard people say, aren't rescue animals damaged? Well, let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Most rescue animals are loving creatures who just need a chance to show how amazing they can be. Or how about this one? I want a specific breed. Guess what? There are breed-specific rescues out there for just about every type of dog or cat you can imagine. So you can still get that golden retriever or Siamese cat you've been dreaming of, all while giving a home to an animal in need. And for those of you thinking, but I want a puppy or kitten, shelters often have little ones too. You'd be surprised how many young animals end up in rescue situations. As we wrap up, I want you to really think about this. Adopting isn't just about getting a pet. It's about giving hope and love to an animal who needs it most. It's about opening your heart and your home to a creature who might not have known kindness before. And in return, you get a loyal friend, a constant companion, and the knowledge that you've made a real difference in the world. I know I've said this before, but you get the quiet satisfaction that comes from being the bringer of miracles. So, the next time you're considering adding a furry friend to your family, remember this video. Remember the millions of animals waiting in shelters, hoping for their forever home. Remember that by choosing adoption, you're not just changing an animal's life. You're enriching your own in ways you never imagined. I want to give you folks my heartfelt thanks for hearing me out today. I have put some links down in the description for you to help you get going on your adoption journey. Please use them as a starting point to help you on your way. So, if this video has inspired you, please don't keep it to yourself. Share your rescue animal story in the comments, okay? We're gonna pick the best ones and make a new video out of them. Like, share, and subscribe to help spread the word. I'm Wrinklefinger, leaving you with a slow blink until next time.